At the moment, everything is changing on a daily basis. The school is reacting to the instructions that we receive from the government. So the information we have now may not be the same as what we have in September, but we're making plans based on what we have now. So hopefully we will have everything covered, and fingers crossed, things will get a little bit better, but let's see. So I've put together a small PowerPoint of a few points that I'd like to go through. As I said, Jane will repeat anything or answer anything in Spanish at the end. And if you have any questions, then either interrupt, or at the end there'll be time for questions as well. So I'll see if I can share my screen now. Let's have a look. Where's it gone? Sorry, doing this all morning with sharing PowerPoints all morning with the children, easily. Right. Sorry, my computer's on a bit of a go slow. I think it knows it's the end of term. Come on. Here we are. Right, should be coming up now. Right, is everybody able to see the PowerPoint, or can anybody let me know you can see it? Because I can't see you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so yeah, just a few points about Foundation 3 for the next academic year. So obviously we're going to have to be a little bit more stringent with hygiene than we have been before. And one of the first things that we'd like to try and do is control the symptoms of coronavirus. So the measures that we're going to take place are obviously anybody who's sick with any kind of illness shouldn't come to school, be it a child, a teacher, a staff. Parents shouldn't be bringing children to school if they are ill. Just stay at home. That's the same as always, really. But particularly regarding COVID, if there has been any cases in the immediate family, or you or your child have been in contact with somebody with the virus, then either keep them at home or just give us a call to get some advice on what to do. We've got thermometers at the school. They're all the non-contact thermometers, so we can check the children's temperature daily to make sure nobody's coming to school with a high temperature. And we will contact you straight away if any child is showing any symptoms that we're concerned about. A note on that is that it's really important that we have all of your most up-to-date information. Ideally 2 telephone numbers, whether it's mum and dad or mum and babysitter or a work phone number. Sometimes your mobile's on silent in your bag and you don't hear it, so a second phone number is really important, so that we can contact you if we need to. Okay, while we're at school, we're going to continue with the hygiene habits that we're always quite up on anyway, but just try and continue these a little bit more thoroughly. So hand washing will be really, really important. It might be an idea, if you haven't already, to teach your child how to wash their hands thoroughly. There's videos on YouTube for things like that. Because we'll be doing that a lot at school, making sure that they're washing them really, really thoroughly, numerous times throughout the day. And of course, that goes for teachers as well. We always have soap in the bathrooms. There'll be hand sanitizer in the classrooms, all around school. If you want to send in a personal hand sanitizer for your child, you're welcome to. We'll also have it at school as well. Any soap, any hand sanitizers, any hand creams that we use, we'll make sure that they're gentle, so they'll be appropriate if any children's got sensitive skin. Okay. We'll all be wearing face masks. We've got the clear shields as well, but probably the face masks as well as the shields will be necessary. We're also going to wear aprons or smocks over our outside clothes while we're in school with the kids. And we're going to be cleaning regularly. I think all of us are going to be on cleaning duties around the clock, cleaning the toys, cleaning the surfaces. cleaning the desks, anything that the children are in contact with will be cleaned and disinfected regularly throughout the day. As of course will the toilets. We've got fantastic cleaning staff at school who'll be just cleaning the bathrooms lots of times throughout the day. Okay, so they will be in their yellow uniform to come to school, and we ask if possible for them to have clean clothes on every day. They'll also have their school bag, and in their school bag should be a spare set of clothes, including underwear and shoes, in case there's any accidents. We ask that this bag is going to stay in school unless there is an accident and we need to send it home, but this bag will stay in school from Monday to Friday. So we're not having too much back and forward of personal belongings between home and school. And we'll make sure that these are stored adequately spaced from each other. We've normally got pegs which are adequately spaced. We'll have to see numbers wise if this is going to work, but they'll be in their allotted area, so one child won't be touching the belongings of another child. Our classes. So we've actually been really lucky this year in Foundation 3 and 4 that we've had quite small class sizes anyway, so we've got used to that. The teachers have been spoilt, as have the children. And I think from what I know of the group going to be Foundation 3, numbers-wise, it's a small group anyway. However, if we have lots of people suddenly sign up at the last minute, this won't affect the class size because we're limited. We're going to have a limited number of children per class. This number is a number that is changing often. One minute it's one number, the next day the government say it's a different number. So we won't be able to tell you that until just before September, but it will definitely be a small group of children. And each class has one teacher and one learning assistant that'll be working with the children all day. They'll be in the same classroom all day for their learning activities. Before we've moved around the classrooms quite a lot. We won't be doing much of that. The children will stay in their unit to do most of their learning activities, unless they're outside. We're planning to have some designated working areas outside, and of course they'll go and play outside, and they'll need to leave the classroom for the toilets. But other than that, they'll be quite contained in one room to avoid too much moving around the school. So before, the children would go down to gym for gym, they would go to do art in a separate art room. These activities now will take place in the classroom. They won't be moving to another area to do them, unless it's outside. It may well be that they'll do some gym activities outside. But yeah, they won't be in separate classrooms. This goes for the dining room as well. All the food, their lunch and their snack, will be served in the classroom. So they have lunch at around 12 o'clock. They don't have a snack in the morning, which is important to remember, so make sure they have a good breakfast in the morning. And the lunch will be served in the classroom at midday at the children's desks. They'll all have individual desks, which they'll work at and they'll eat at. So the teachers are going to become dining ladies as well. We'll be serving their food and the snack as well. So they have snack in the afternoon time, and that will be in the classroom too. And of course, we'll be thoroughly cleaning before they eat and again afterwards, because of course it's going to be quite messy, I imagine. Okay, materials and resources. So there are some things that we're going to be able to keep individual. As I said, each child will have their own desk. On their own desk, they'll have their own pencils, for example, colours, maybe whiteboards and whiteboard pens. These are really useful for learning to write. Their own pair of scissors, their own rubber, things like that that are just for them on their desk. However, Foundation is about playing. We learn a lot through play, and we're not going to stop the children from playing. So we need toys. And we're not going to stop them sharing the toys. It's something that we work really hard on encouraging. So they will be sharing the toys. However, they will only be within their group. This small group that is in their classroom will have their own set of toys. These toys will be cleaned thoroughly throughout the day. We'll be teaching the children how to play with the toys. encouraging them not to put them to their face, put them to their mouth. Something which I think they've learned already this week with having the young children in school. Of course, we're playing in a restaurant, we make food, and even the teachers, automatically the food goes to the mouth. So we're going to teach them this is not what we're going to do anymore, but we are going to share, but within our small group. We'll make sure the toys are the kind that can be cleaned easily, not going to have to store little bacteria in any little nook and cranny. And either each week, maybe each fortnight, we'll rotate them between the groups, but they'll be thoroughly cleaned before they go to another group. However, during the week, it'll be 1 box or 2 boxes of toys that are for this one group. Okay. We used to send work home that they've completed in school quite a lot. However, what we'll do is we'll store it all at school safely and give everything to you at the end of term. So there's, again, less coming and going between school and home. So if they paint you a beautiful picture, we'll take a photo of it to show you, and then you'll get the picture at the end of the year. Okay, entrance and exits. This area is all to be a little bit finalised. So there'll be a staggered start date throughout the school. So that from nursery 1 up to secondary, the children will be starting at different times and on different days. Because of that, we haven't got the final date for Foundation 3 and 4 confirmed yet. It will be one day between the 2nd and 7th of September. And as soon as we know, as soon as it's been finalised, then we'll share that information with you. The regular school day will start at 8:45 and finish at 4 o'clock. There'll be quite an exact procedure on where to drop them off and where to collect them. Again, this hasn't been finalised yet, but when it is, we'll share it with you. It'll be very detailed, so you'll know about that nearer the time. Yeah, the full school day is 8:45 until 4. However, during the adaptation period, we will start with a half day. Okay. So at the moment, we're not sure exactly, because we don't know the numbers of the sizes of the classes yet. We don't know which teacher is going to be with which group, but it's really important, of course, for you and for your child to meet their teacher before they start. So early September, we'll send videos, we'll arrange online meetings so that you can meet your teacher, your child can meet their teachers, and hopefully they can see the space as well, whether that'll be a video or via the iPad at school. We'll show them what it's going to look like where they'll work before they come. Okay. We'll also have a welcome meeting, a bit like this one, for everybody, and we'll introduce the entire team, so all the different teachers and the specialists, and give you a bit more detail about the year ahead. And as I said, the first day for Foundation 3 will be a half day. Okay.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
Hi.
Yes, sorry. I'm David, one of the parents. Sorry. We have bad connection here where we are. It's now my wife is trying to connect. Please, can you let going inside the conversation, please?
Of course. Let me see.
Okay.
Sorry, one moment.
Okay. Sorry, and excuse me, everybody.
No, it's okay.
Thank you so much.
I see. Admit.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
She should be connected. Okay.
Just to let you know, we are recording the meeting as well.
Okay,
so
thanks.
We'll be able to put it up and send it to the family.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So back to the half day. So this will be a half day, but only for the children. So the mummies and daddies won't be staying with the children. We are going to be limiting the amount of visits into school from mum and dads this coming year for obvious reasons. But it'll be really helpful for their adaptation to come in the morning. You can bring them into school. They'll meet their new teachers. It'll be only about playing. They'll be playing with their new teachers and their new friends, and they'll go home before lunch. So just ease them in slowly to their new day before the full day. Contact and communication. So, as I said, there may be less opportunity for face-to-face meetings in September than we're used to. Again, this may change, let's see, but the chances are you won't be in as much daily face-to-face contact with your child's teacher as we normally like to do. However, you're always able to get in touch with us. You can contact the teachers during school hours via email. All of the email addresses are on the school website. When you find out your teacher, he or she will give you their email address. But if you lose it, you can go onto the school website and all of the email addresses are there. Of course, you can call school as well. Anything that's specific to your child will be dealt with over email, over phone call, over video call, any of these wonderful new ways that we've now got used to. But we also use a great platform called Google Classroom. I don't know, actually, I didn't ask Angie, I don't know if you have been using this already in nursery 1 and 2, but we use it in foundation stage and we love it. The teachers love it, the parents love it. It's a really, really useful platform. So we'll share any news that's relevant for the whole class on there about upcoming events. We might share some, with your permission, photos of your child's activities, videos of them playing, and you can upload things onto there as well. So it's a really nice way to communicate between home and school. It's a really good way to open up discussion. And if you've never heard of it before and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what's this? We'll tell you all about it in September. So don't worry, we'll give you an individual code and we'll show through how to use it. Okay. So there's been lots of chat about September and what's happening in September. But we have a bit of a time to go before then. So I thought it might be an idea. I thought I've got Miss Christina here and Miss Natalie, who are the current Foundation 3 teachers. And we thought they might be able to explain a few little things that you could do with your child before September to help them prepare for big school, for real school. So Natalie and Christina, would you like to?
Yes, yeah. Go for it. Natalie.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, I'm Christina. And Natalie, we are the teachers now for Foundation 3, as Katie said. Thanks, Katie, for giving us a moment.
Thank you.
We are going to go through some points with you on how to prepare for next year. I know all the things that Katie has been saying sound quite doom and gloomy, but we hope that, you know, by September the situation will get better and we will be able to ease some of those things and enjoy term 1. So some of the things we thought of with Natalie is if you could purchase your uniform end of August or first week of September and try it with your child for a few days before they start school, practice taking off the pants, taking off the shoes, putting them on and off, putting the socks on and off, because you know, when we do gym or when we do yoga, when we have shirt time where we sit in a circle, they might be requested to take their shoes off or when they go to sleep. So the quicker they learn to do that, the easier it's going to be for them. And also ask you to wear the new school shoes for a couple of days before you start the school. We often buy a new set and then it's very uncomfortable for them to get used to those new shoes in the first week. So if you can purchase those things a little bit earlier and practice for a week or 2. Okay. Do you mind going to the next one, please?
Can I just mention, Christina,
yes,
about the clothes and the shoes? I don't know if it's mentioned later on in the slide, but it's really important that you put your names in everything, because they all have the same uniforms, very, very similar shoes, and they're so little that they're not that responsible with their things, and their things end up being thrown all over the place. So it's really important that we have very clear names in everything so that we can locate them and put them back in the correct bags or the correct boxes. So just something to really keep an eye on and make sure if the pen starts to rub out, make sure it's really clear so that we can read it. That would really be very helpful for us. And so you don't lose anything.
We help you with that as well in the first week or 2. We try to make sure everything's labeled, but if you have time to prepare that with your child earlier, that would be
a good tip that another teacher gave me on that is if they're too little to recognize their name, you might be an idea to draw a little picture, something like a star or a flower, that they can recognize. So if they're looking for a jumper, they can see, they might not read the name Oscar, but they can see, oh, it has a picture of a train and I know that's mine. So that's a way for them to be a bit more responsible about their clothes.
Yeah, and that's the system we use in the classroom as well. Like everything that's theirs, their bed, their peg, all of those things have their one picture on there. So that's the system we use in Foundation 3 for them to recognise their name and their space. So actually using a picture alongside the name would be a really nice thing to do on their clothes as well. That would really help them.
Well, yes. The second part that you can start working on now or over summer is that our goal in Foundation 3, apart from starting to learn maths and phonics and reading and writing, is all about teaching the kids to become independent. So they are going to progress in terms of using the toilet independently, eating independently, taking care of their belongings independently. So this is something that we encourage you to start doing at home. Obviously, during summer, we have a little bit more time at home to practice washing our hands, to practice eating, so the kids can practice eating by themselves, getting themselves dressed without your help. So I would encourage you to use that time in summer to practice those things. A lot of parents say in September they don't have time for all of this in the morning because they're rushing to work. So try to use the time in summer to learn the morning routine and to make sure that it's as independent as you can make it. So encourage your children to get dressed by themselves, to clean up their toys themselves, to pack their school bag themselves, and try to resist that temptation to help them all the time. And what will help you with that is if you look at your home or your hallway and see how child-friendly it is in terms of them being independent. So if you're expecting them to put their shoes on in the morning, is there a little chair or bench for them to sit on, or a place where they can put their shoes on? Is there a hook for their school bag so that is a reminder for them that they have to take the school bag on Mondays? Try to look at your home and see how well it is organized to encourage their independence. Obviously, the more organized their wardrobe or their playroom is, the easier it is for them to get those things ready by themselves and to become independent.
And also as well, we've been working a lot this term on them helping at home as well, and sending us videos of them helping at home. So even simple things like them taking their plate to the sink or them laying out the forks on the table, as many things as you can do at home that encourage them to be independent and to feel good about themselves and to have that confidence will really help them to feel like they can tackle the new challenges in Foundation 3. So that will be really helpful.
Well, and then some things to do just I guess the last 2 weeks of August is you can look up some books on YouTube about starting school, and read to them any of the Maisie books about the little mouse going to school, or there's lots of resources on YouTube. So any books that can stimulate this discussion the last 2 weeks of August to prepare them and start talking about restarting school. And also plan for yourself. So apart from managing your child's feelings, you have to prepare yourself how you're going to manage your feelings as a parent. So the more happy and confident you are saying goodbye to them, and the more comfortable you are about them progressing to Foundation 3, the happier they will feel. So try to plan something nice for yourself for the first day. Maybe go meet a friend after, so you're not standing around the school panicking and wondering how they're going, because at the end the children are going to sense that. So try to see them off happy and confidently. You can start talking to them a little bit about things that are different in Foundation 3 than they were in the nursery. For example, going to the toilet. So you can start speaking to them about that the toilet will be next to a classroom, but if they need to use the toilet, they have to ask the teacher. Otherwise, the teacher will not know. So those things are a little bit different than they used to be in the nursery. You can talk to them about, getting dressed by themselves, putting their shoes on and off by themselves, eating by themselves. So try to prepare them for the things that they will be learning.
And I think basic phrases as well, basic phrases like, I need the toilet, or can I go to the toilet? Those basic things that sometimes they're really scared because they don't know how to say it. So, I mean, obviously depending on the level of English that you have within the family, but if you can teach them basic things like water, I need water, or I need toilet, I need the toilet. But teaching them just those basic words and that vocabulary will give them that little bit more confidence to come to the teacher and say, because there are some teachers that maybe won't understand Spanish or Catalan, or so if they've got just that basic vocabulary, it will give the children that little bit more confidence as well to approach the teacher.
Okay. Right. So it's going to be question time now. I'll just share. This is my email address, kowen@stpeters.es. As I said, all of our addresses are on the website as well, but you might want to write that down if you've got any questions that pop into your head later today or tomorrow or whenever, then don't hesitate to drop me an email and I will hopefully be able to answer. Okay, so I don't know, I'm going to close this down now. I don't know if what we will do with the Spanish thing, if anyone has any specific questions in Spanish or would like Jane to go through some points, or all questions in English. Or points, anyone, any teachers have anything else to say, or?
Feel free to ask.
No, but any questions, we're happy to try and help in any way we can. So if there's any questions you have, then please ask away.
I'm happy to say that we have 2 new students here in the meeting. One is Laia and the other is Marta. Laia's parents are David and Anna, and Mariana is the mother of Marta. So welcome.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We look forward to seeing you.
Hello.
So we'll be in touch in September to tell you when they'll start, what time they'll start, who their teacher will be.
Hello, Marta.
All of these things. Hello.
Hi.
And all the specific details, we'll be in touch. We'll be organising these. We'll be working hard over the summer to tell you all before we start in September. I don't know, Jane, is there anything you'd like to add? Or?
Well, to be honest, I think that everything's been very clearly explained as far as we can at the moment. There will be things that, as we say, we're working at the moment. We're waiting for instructions. We're planning ahead, and that's what we're doing right now. So things will change. There will be additional information, but you will get all of that. We just felt it was important to reach out and say, we're here, welcome. If you need anything, contact us. And help you feel a little bit more reassured in a very, very strange times. It's all a bit different for everybody at the moment, but you know, we'll make school as stable and as fun and as friendly as we possibly can. And we're, fingers crossed, hoping that it's going to be more like normal than we originally thought it was going to be. So.
Yeah, I think because this week we've been open with the few children that have had to go back to school, it's actually been really reassuring, hasn't it, Jane? That
yeah.
I've seen the children afterwards. They've come to the online classes afterwards, some of them, and they're having a lovely time. And they're not fazed by the masks. And for them, it's school and it's fun, and their friends are there, and their teachers are there, and they're having a lovely time. So we don't need to worry about that, I don't think.
No, I think what they most appreciate about school, obviously they learn loads, but what they most appreciate is the other people that are there. And that's what they've most missed. So that'll all still be there. It might be a little bit different, but kids adapt. They're very good at adapting. And where there's any trouble in them adapting, we're there to help them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll share the PowerPoint with everybody. Maybe if Angie, I send it to you, would you mind sharing it for me? Thank you. And Karma with me.
Katie. Hi, Katie. If you send it to me, I can publish it in the on the calendar.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah, and together with the recording of the meeting, in case some parents haven't been able to assist or to attend. Right?
Okay, perfect. Great.
Okay.
Okay. Well, unless anybody has any questions, as I said, that was my email address. So anything, just don't hesitate to drop me a line. And otherwise, until September.